Well, we're going to do a Ron B from Philly Q&A from Cheron B. She's going to give me some questions, and I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability.
Yes. Hey, Ron B from Philly. So you talked about a lot of things in the video. One thing I wanted to ask about was like everybody knows that there's a gun control problem in this nation or in Philly. It's just a gun issue in the country. So what do you suggest or have any, if you could put in your personal and political input into gun control or even some type of way that guns can be, um, in everyday life, but also useful. How would you do that?
Well, first of all, guns are like a car or like alcohol. You have to be a certain age and have a license to use them. It should be strict licensing, and also there should be, just like a driver's license, it has to be renewed. You shouldn't have to get a gun license and just have it forever. Um, you need to take a test to get a driver's license. Well, why don't you have to take a test to get a gun? Uh, there's a lot of ways that you could keep a lot of law-abiding citizens from having guns. Now, that does not stop all of the illegal guns and all the illegal guns. We need Batman. We need some type of real detectives, some type of real policing. We need somebody to do something to figure out, stop these guns from coming from overseas. Stop these guns from being filtering around the streets. The illegal guns, I have no clue. But I know that there's ways to stop legal guns from being more easily obtained. Just make the hoops to jump through them larger.
Okay.
And stop hiding behind the Second Amendment when that doesn't even say that we have the right to bear arms. It means bear arms against the government that is unjust. It says you have the right to a militia. They don't say you have a right to pack a gun on broad army and shoot somebody because I don't know what they did, for nothing. Shoot in front of Temple University hanging out of a car.
Mm-hmm.
What? Shoot a 7-year-old girl? You think the Founding Fathers was talking about that? That's the point when I mean that people need to stop tripping and then stop being us. Because you're smarter than that. We're all smarter than that. We know better.
Right.
But instead, we hide behind that or hide behind things instead of doing something about them. Standing up.
Okay. I think that was a good answer. So gun control is not at a federal level. They usually make it from state to state. So each state controls their own gun control.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, they do. They do. Like Louisiana and Texas and Pennsylvania have completely different standards on how someone can purchase and own a gun.
Yes.
So, do you feel that it should be at a federal level? Like the federal government should control each state's laws and mandates to own a gun?
I believe that it should be all levels of government should control it, but I believe that putting it on one form of government as opposed to another doesn't really solve the problem. Mm-hmm. Because right now, one form of government do have control over it, and they're not doing that great of a job. Like, for instance, in Philadelphia. Philadelphia has rules about gun purchasing that no other city in the state of Pennsylvania has. You can't buy guns in Philadelphia. Yet you can, but it has to be through like licensed gun dealer or whatever. Like, for instance, Walmart's in this county you can buy a gun from. But you can't buy a gun from a Walmart in Philly because we have different rules.
Very
But
true.
see, that's the thing. Law-abiding citizens follow the rules. The other people don't. Or the people who buy guns for for criminals, they're called straw purchases. That's how they do it. They get somebody who's not dirty to buy them the guns, and then they sell them to them. It's mainly all about money. Money is the root of all evil. The love of money. That's another thing people get all squirrely. The love of money is the root of all evil. And that's what people do a lot of things for. And so, yeah, it should be, all the laws should be uniform. And yeah, it should be, if one set of laws is not appropriate, another set of laws should take over.
Right.
But a lot of the gun lobbyists don't want the federal government involved. That's the ones they want the guns to rise up against. As of January 16th.
Mm.
They, do you see how people will do? But none of them took guns.
Right.
They didn't shoot up the Capitol. It didn't need to. You see, you don't need a gun to overthrow anything. You just need a bunch of people with a will and a way to do it. But cowards need guns. And most situations nowadays that guns are involved, back in my day, a fight would have been involved. Fist fight, maybe a knife. In my day, knives wasn't even that much. You ain't get cut by no knife. You ain't get stabbed. Fist fights. Now, guns. Nobody fights. Crazy.
It's crazy. So, as just basically touching on your last point, you said that like before it was just fighting, and then some people started evolving into guns, and then like knives and weapons.
Well,
do you think that?
No, knives next, and then guns.
Yeah. Do you think? What do you think people are gonna bring, like bazookas now? I don't know.
No.
What is the next top tier to this violence that is going on in our cities and in our countries and stuff?
Well, remember when I referenced Beirut in Afghanistan?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you end up. You end up in a war zone. You end up bombs. You end up assault rifles. You end up not being able to go to school, not being able to go to church, not being able to go to the store because you don't know who's going to blow up the bus or blow up the stand. Mm-hmm. Right now, we have a lot of handgun violence, some automatic weapon violence. The next logical upgrade is more automatic weapons, then explosives, then war. Mm-hmm. All-out war on the streets.
Right. What is something that you can say to the people of Philly and the people that are dealing with this gun violence crisis that has been brought to the attention of everyone for years and years and years, but now I feel like has been becoming such an important and like media subject, this, especially dealing with everything that's going on in the world right now. How do you, what is something encouraging or something that you feel as a Philadelphian could help, progress the peace in here, the brotherly love? That's what we were known for. That's what I grew up on knowing. So what is something that you can say?
This is what I can say about that. I can say that there's a lot more good people who are not criminals in this country, in this world, in this city. There's a lot more people who don't believe in violence and don't believe in hurting people and don't believe that this is the right way to go and we should be doing this thing. When the protests came about the police officers killing people, a lot of people came out and walked the streets with their own peril at risk, because in Philadelphia people got tear gassed and arrested and did a lot of things happened to us, doing that time. Look at my Philly riot video. But the point is, a lot of people weren't rioting. A lot of people weren't doing the wrong thing. A lot of people were just standing up and saying enough is enough is enough. We can't have the people who are supposed to protect and serve us killing us just because they're afraid. So the second thing I would say is stop being afraid. Everybody stop being afraid. You cannot stop that bullet from hitting you. You have no idea if you're going to be shot in the street tomorrow. That means you can't go outside afraid. You got to go outside every day thinking that, that's not going to happen. You have to believe. Believe. Stop being afraid. And for those criminals and for those people who have no regard for human life and or think that this is funny or think that this is brave or think that they need help. They need Jesus. They need something. Allah, I don't care who it is. They need something. Because this ain't the way. This is only leading to, I used to tell you as a child, Cheron, y'all can end up being two ways. It could be Star Trek The Next Generation or Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And all times, it goes back and forth. I don't know which way we're going to end up. Sometimes I think we're going to go and end up, when we elected Barack, okay, we're going to be going in the right direction. Positive. Life is going to get better.
All right.
Then we have Trump, and look at it. Look at what we had since him. And, it's always an up and down battle. But guess what? It still don't mean that you give up hope. But you must realize how it is.
Right.
And say, okay, it's not going to be good. It ain't going to always be good. It ain't going to always be great and wonderful. But it's better than it has been. And it could be worse. So I'm going to take every day as a present. Thank God for the day. Thank God every morning. Thank God. And treat people better than I treated them yesterday. Then maybe if we all do that, then we won't have people getting shot over stupid stuff. Or other people who are so angry won't think that that's the way to take out their frustration. And whoever thinks that shooting a gun is fun and all that old craziness, a gun is a weapon designed to take life, be it an animal or be it a person. If you shoot it at a building or at a car or an inanimate object, you're using it to destroy or to harm that object. A gun is not a hammer. It's not a tool. It's a weapon.
All right. I think that concludes our Ron B from Philly
Q&A.
Yes.
First time. All right.
Expect many more.
All right. Look forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.